There we go. Brilliant. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Two-legged and four-legged friends this morning. Lovely, lovely. Welcome, welcome. So, this kind of theme seemed to resonate with a lot of people in the last week I've been teaching this, which gives me a little bit of hope, actually, that I'm not alone in being a very anxious person who overthinks and worries about stuff a lot. And it seems that I'm not alone in this very common affliction. And it all came to mind really a couple of weeks ago when I was running a workshop. And I run a no refunds policy for my workshops and classes. I was running it in conjunction with a friend. And a few days before the workshop, I had an email from a lady I didn't know. She was a client of my colleague saying, I can't come with my friend. My friend's got COVID. Can I have a refund, please? I thought, oh no, this is terrible. I'm going to have to send one of those awful emails. So I sent an email. To her just saying politely that I'm afraid I don't offer refunds, and waited for the awful email, which in my head I'd already written, that was going to come back from her, telling me what a dreadful person I was, not coming to the workshop, even worse, never going back to my friend as she was her client. And I literally spent sleepless nights worried about this email, that actually I was doing nothing wrong, but maybe you can resonate a little bit with that kind of feeling. Every time I opened my inbox, I was panicking. Anyway, I heard nothing. And then a couple of days before the workshop, I saw her name in my inbox. I thought, oh no, this is terrible. Opened it with trepidation, and I received a lovely reply. Absolutely no problem. Totally understand. Can I bring another friend of mine? I thought all of that worry, but absolute nothing. And it's been interesting, the number of people who've said, yes, I do that all the time. I remember a similar situation. So I'm not alone in that. And I read this lovely thing from a book by an American author. Worry is a way to pretend that you have knowledge or control over what you don't. And it surprises me, even in myself, how much we prefer ugly scenarios to the pure unknown. And it's so true, isn't it? We would rather, like I did with this lady, make up this awful, catastrophic outcome rather than just say to ourselves sometimes, I just don't know what's going to happen. I'm just going to have to go with the flow. I'm just going to have to wait and see. We seem to be pre-programmed to predict the worst possible outcome. So today, let's just see if we can use this class almost as like a little moving meditation. We can allow whatever busyness, anxiety, worry, all those niggles, let's see if we can just leave them behind for the next hour at least. The challenge is, can we take that feeling beyond our yoga mats and into the rest of our day? I'm a work in progress. Let's start by laying down. Bring your knees up towards your chest. Oh, maybe have a little massage of your back against the floor. But all joking aside, it can be really, for some people, very disruptive and become the overarching concern of them when we do overthink and worry about stuff. It can be a real hindrance to how we live our life. So let's choose to lay whatever we have on our mind to one side for the next hour as you bring your feet to the floor, maybe keeping your knees bent today and just letting your knees rest against each other. Or you can go ahead and stretch the legs out. I'm going to keep my knees bent for the moment. You might take a moment to get yourself good and comfy there. Maybe move your hips a little bit so the low back feels relaxed and released. And the arms wherever feels comfortable for you today. Knowing that if you have your palms facing up towards the ceiling, hands resting on the floor, that's already beginning to open your chest and release the shoulders. So let's take a nice deep breath in together. And as you breathe out, use that as an opportunity to breathe away the week thus far. Letting go of any worrisome thoughts that you might be carrying today. And if you're blessed with a more peaceful mind than mine, maybe just use that exhale as an opportunity to let go of any particular areas of tension you might be holding in the body today. Paying particular heed to the shoulders, the neck, and the face. It's been not the nicest of weather here in the UK, so shoulders might have crept up around the ears again as we seem to have gone back to autumn. But just using that exhale as an opportunity to relax the back body on the floor and start to regulate the breath. And starting to deepen and lengthen each breath. This might be the first time this week you've had a moment to yourself. Maybe you've been busy doing stuff, business of life. So really letting yourself have the next hour of practice for yourself. So trying not to let what has preceded the class or what's yet to come intrude too much upon your time this morning. So we're going to start very gently, finding some space in the body. So lengthening the legs out in front of you if you've not done so. Reaching both arms back above your head and give yourself a delicious stretch this morning. Lovely way to greet the day. Maybe have a little bit of a wiggle around on the floor there as you stretch out, finding as much space in front and behind you as you can. Now let's begin to open up one side and then the other. So as you push that right heel forwards, start to reach back with the right fingertips and see if you can feel that lovely stretch through the right side of the body. We'll take a nice breath in as you stretch. But as you exhale, just release, let that side go. We'll repeat that on the other side. So left heel pushes forwards, left fingertips reaching back. Maybe this side feels different. So noticing what it feels like on the left side of the body as you breathe into that stretch. And then breathe out and let go. Just start to alternate sides there. Stretching into one side, pushing the heel away, and then the other. You might notice as you stretch one side of the body, so the opposite hip slides a little further up the mat, shortening the opposite side of the waist. Lovely to find some space before we begin anything more dynamic this morning. And maybe you just want to stay here with the arms extended, but we can have a little play with that. If you keep the arms above the head but bend the elbows, and so you're clasping opposite elbows. So this time as you push the right heel forward, you're stretching your right elbow back and then swapping sides. So you might feel that a little bit more profoundly if you're stretching the elbows, pushing the elbow back rather than the fingertips. But if that feels too much, then you just let go and you use your fingertips instead. Let's do one more, stretching into the right side, stretching. Oh, that feels good. And then one more, stretching into the left side. And then coming back from that left side, letting go of the elbows so the arms are once more straight behind you. Just start to circle off your wrists and ankles there, maybe giving your fingers and toes a little wiggle. Waking up into the joints. And then round in the opposite direction. Yeah, it's a little bit mismog this morning, but hopefully the sun will reappear before too long. And then from there, let's lower the arms and bring both feet in towards your bottom now, up hip width apart, making sure your low back feels comfortable before you hug that right knee up and in towards the chest. So as you bring that knee up, you can hold in front or behind the knee. Just take care that the chin hasn't suddenly jutted up towards the ceiling. So we lengthen the neck as you squeeze that knee in. We just start some little knee circles there, using one hand or both hands. We steer that knee round in a nice big circle, a few circles in one direction, and then take that round the opposite way, just getting into the hip. Other knee stays nice and quiet there. And then we'll bring that right knee in towards the chest, giving it one last little squeeze before crossing right ankle over left knee, sorry. Right ankle over left knee. We're going to push that knee away from you. And maybe you stay here, just pushing the right knee away from you. Or you can lift yourself up and just take hold around the back of that left thigh, lowering your head and shoulders as you bring the shin a little closer towards you, coming into our reclined pigeon. You might have a little rock from side to side there. Or you can come with me, taking that inhale. And as you exhale, you lift your head and shoulders off the floor. See if you can bring your shin towards your nose. And then inhale, we release. And exhale, knee, nose and shin coming a little closer. And then releasing as you inhale. One more time. If it feels comfortable, bringing that shin closer towards you. And then slowly, slowly, let's come back. Head and shoulders on the floor. Keeping the ankle over the knee, let's bring that left foot down to the floor and the arms down by the side of the body. If this version doesn't work for you, keep both feet on the mat. Pushing that knee away from you as you inhale. This time we're going to lift the hips up into a little shoulder bridge. Keep squeezing that knee out to the side. And then lower down as you exhale, twice more. So as you push up, you're pressing the knee out to the side. And then coming all the way back down. We'll do one more. Lifting up, feeling that left leg, left buttock beginning to work a little bit. When you drop the hips, last one just to keep the ankle where it is as you reach both arms level with your shoulders now. And as you push that knee away from you, start to drop the legs from side to side. So bringing the knee toward the floor and then the sole of the foot as you drop on the other side. Little windscreen wiper action with the legs. You can start to move your head in the opposite direction to your knees if that feels good. Bringing that movement just further up. And then let's come back to the center. Holding on around the back of that right leg one last time. We'll take the leg up towards the ceiling, this time for a little hamstring stretch. Pointing and flexing your foot. Pressing your lower back down into the floor. And then we'll bring that foot back down to the mat, swapping sides. Left knee comes up and in, softening the shoulders as you give that knee a little squeeze. Lovely stretch for the new back, this one. And then just start to circle the knee. So getting into the hip a little bit as you take the knee round in a circle. Go round in one way. And then just change direction, go round the opposite way. And then ready for that little reclined pigeon, you're going to cross left ankle over right knee this time. And you might just press the knee away from you and stay there. Maybe just rock from side to side. Or again, lifting the right foot off the floor, but hold on around the back of the thigh. Lowering yourself down so you're bringing that shin in towards your chest there. Relaxing your right heel towards your bottom. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to round on up, nose coming to shin. And then inhale, release. So twice more. Keep pressing that left knee away from you as you round on up. And then we'll come all the way back down. We'll do that one more time. Little flex in that left foot as you lift up. And then coming all the way down. Letting that right foot drop to the floor, keeping the ankle where it is as you bring the arms down by the side of the body. Ready for our little bridge. So as you inhale, you push up with the hips, pressing the knee open. And then coming all the way back down. So every inhale, you press the hips up. Really trying to open that knee as you feel the right side of the body working now. Right glute, right hamstring. One more time, lifting up. Coming all the way back down, bringing the arms out level with your shoulders now. Palms up towards the ceiling. Keeping that knee pressed open, we just take that little tick-tock of the legs from side to side. Sole of the foot and then the knee coming towards the floor. And all the time we're pressing that knee away from you. Again, you might move your head side to side if that feels good. Or stretch of the neck this morning. Or stiff neck this morning. What's that? Let's come all the way back through the center. Taking that left leg up towards the ceiling as you hold behind the back of the thigh. Or point and flex the foot. Just getting into the ankle there. Lovely. Bringing that knee up towards the chest. And then slide the other knee up to join it. And with the hands on the knees, let's take the legs round in a little circle, having a massage across your low back. We'll do a few little circles in one direction. And then a few in the opposite way. And deciding how you want to come up to seated, you can roll to one side, or like me, you can cross your ankles and roll on up. We're going to sit cross-legged if that works for you. I'm going to cross right leg in front of left leg, but you can always stretch the legs out in front of you if that feels more comfortable. Fingertips just down by your hips so you can lengthen up and out through the crown of the head. Lovely. Inhale, we're going to reach the arms up, palms touch. And exhale, bring the hands to the heart and just let your chin drop down towards the chest. Let's do that twice more. So inhale, you reach on up, taking my jumper off, it's getting a bit warm now. And exhale, bringing the hands down to the heart as you drop the chin. Let's do that one more time. Reaching up, big stretch up. We're going to bring the hands down to the heart and pause this time, interlacing the hands, but then free up your first fingers. So you made like a little steeple with your hands. Arms come all the way back up. Upper arms stay by the ears. We'll take an inhale and take a little side stretch over to the right as you exhale. Inhale through center and then up and over to the other side. We're going to do one more each way. So each time we stretch and take that side bend, we're trying not to lift up from the floor so you're feeling really grounded through your sit bones. So you might have to make that movement a little smaller. Let's come up through the center. And then swapping the hands behind you, and just pressing into the floor so you can bring the chest forwards, maybe lifting the chin as you stretch on through the chest. And release, leaning into your hands so you can bring both feet to the floor in front of you. And again, lean into your hands as you maybe lift your shins up into a little boat pose so your ankles level with your knees. You can stay there using the floor to help you, or you can reach the arms forwards. Feeling that little biting point of your core as you reach the arms forwards, lifting up through the chest. And then we'll recross the legs, left in front of right this time. Sweeping the arms up, let's take that inhale. Exhaling, hands to heart, chin to chest. Lovely. As you drop your chin down twice more, we're not allowing the body to pitch forwards, we're just opening up through the neck. And down to the heart. Lovely. Let's do that one more time. So big circle out and up. Hands coming down to heart. We're going to keep them there as you interlace the hands again, freeing up those first fingers, making that little steeple again. Upper arms by the ears as you inhale, over to the left. Inhale through center, and then up and over to the right. Let's do one more each way. So getting that nice stretch through the side body. Whoa. Just making sure you don't lift your sit bones up off the floor. Let's come up through the center, bringing the hands all the way back behind you. So again, you can lean into your hands, squeeze the shoulder blades together as you push the chest forwards, maybe lifting your chin. And then releasing so you can bring both feet to the floor. And again, you can keep the hands behind you as you lift the shins. You can reach the arms forwards. And if you're feeling a little bit stronger this morning, you can extend the legs straight out in front of you, but make sure you're not collapsing them. We're still lifting up nice and tall through the chest. Beautiful, beautiful. Wherever you are, let's bring both feet down to the floor. Feet together so you can allow your knees to drop open, bringing the soles of the feet together. The heels as far away from you as you need if your hips feel tight today. Going to hold on to the shins, lifting up through the chest. Let's take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're leaning forwards, leading with your chin or your chest. So again, we're not hunching and rounding the spine. We've got that lovely long back as you maybe press your elbows into your knees, opening up through the hips this morning, getting a nice stretch. And then hands to the knees. Let's draw those knees together. Give yourselves a little hug. And then finding your way round onto all fours. Finding that lovely strong tabletop position with your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So we're going to spread the hands nice and wide, taking up all of that space underneath you. Then as you inhale, let's pull the chest forwards, tailbone lifts up. And then exhale, pressing down with the hands, rounding up like an angry cat. And just move with the breath now, maybe even closing the eyes here, so this really does become a moving meditation. The more we're able to connect the movement with the breath, the body and breath moving in conjunction, so we can begin to drop out of all that busyness, headspace, consumed with what's going on in the body rather than what's going on around us. Let's take a couple more like that. Lovely. Now you can stay here, or as you inhale, let's bring the chest forwards. And as you exhale, bottom to heels, we're going to come down onto your forearms, bringing those arms down in 2 parallel lines. And then bringing the chest forwards as you inhale, and exhaling, rounding as you drop down onto your forearms, squeezing those elbows in. A couple more. As you drop down onto your elbows, just feeling that little squeeze of the shoulder blades together to prevent those elbows from splaying out to the side. One more time, inhale. And this next time we'll meet in child pose, bottom to heels. Take a little walk of the hands forward so you can lift up onto your fingertops, your elbows and palms lifted from the floor. And just press the fingertips forwards and down as you hug your bottom back towards your heels. On your next inhale, let's lift the chest and look forwards between your hands. And as you exhale, let the chest and forehead sink back down twice more. So that little wave of breath, lifting the chest as you inhale, and then exhaling, softening all the way back down. One more like that, inhaling. And this next exhale, let the palms come to the floor, let the elbows drop, maybe your forehead on the floor as you just take a moment in that child pose. And then as you slide the hands back towards you, we'll find our way back up onto all fours. Okay. So just your right arm is going to move. You're going to reach your right arm forwards and then take it all the way up and back behind you. So twice more in this direction, forwards and up as you inhale. And then back and down. Just the right arm moving. One more time, inhale. And exhale, lovely. We're going to change directions. You're going to reach all the way back and up. So just moving into the shoulder, twice more, big, big circles. Lovely, one more time. We're going to reach that right arm all the way up towards the ceiling. Now push off that left hand. We're going to come all the way up, reaching the left arm in front, right arm behind. So you're coming up into a little twist. Right hand to the back of your right thigh, left arm's going to reach all the way up and back. You can look back or look up as you find that little half camel, maybe sliding the hand down the back of the thigh. Left hand takes a big tick-tock all the way back down to the floor. Right arm up towards the sky. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to feed right arm under left arm. And again, inhale, reaching the arm up. And exhale, see if you can reach a little further away from you. Lovely. One more time. Inhale to reach on up. This next time, we'll slide the hand all the way underneath you, coming down onto the side of the shoulder, the side of the head. Have a little snuggle there to bring that shoulder away from the ear. With the left hand by your face, just lean to the right a little ways, opening up into the shoulder. Option, keep the left hand where it is or reach that arm up to the ceiling. Or you might even wrap it behind your low back, or some of you might even be able to tuck it into your right thigh there. Opening up through that top shoulder. And then let's release that left hand to the floor. Pushing into that hand, right arm reaches up to the ceiling. And both hands coming down back into tabletop. Let's take that inhale as you lift the chest. And as you exhale, bottom to heels, coming into that child pose. Now you've got the option to stay there or continue to move onto all fours as you inhale and down onto your tummy as you exhale. Now a little floor flow up through cobra, breath in and bottom to heels. Lovely. Twice more if that feels good. Rising on up as you inhale and all the way down. Lovely. Pushing back up through cobra and then coming back into that child pose. One last time. If that feels good, knowing that child pose is always there. If that is where you want to stay, that's where we're all going to meet, bottom to heels. And pausing in that child pose, move your hips to the left and take both hands over to the right side of your mat, so they're off the mat. And drawing back through that left side, you can keep the hands where they are or left hand on top of right hand. And just think about dropping that left shoulder as you breathe some space once more into the left side of the body. And then we'll swap sides. So as you bump your hips to the right, arms to the left, maybe stacking right hand on top of left hand as you pull that hip back towards your knee. Lovely. And then we'll come all the way back through center. We're going to do that little ditty on the other side. And so this time, let's move the left arm, reaching forwards and up as you inhale, and then all the way back and down as you exhale. So just the left arm moving this time. Stay in that tabletop position, so we're just getting into the shoulder. You can look down or follow the movement of your arm. And then we swap directions, so you reach back behind you, and then coming forward. So 2 more big circles there, getting into that shoulder. And then we'll pause with that left arm reaching up towards the sky. Push off that right hand as you come all the way up. Right arm in front, left arm behind you. So come up into that little twist. Left hand, back of the left thigh as you reach the right arm up. You can start to slide that hand down towards the back of the knee if that feels good. That right hand's going to take a big tick-tock all the way back down to the floor. Left arm reaches up. Let's take that breath in. And then reach the arm underneath as we thread needle twice more. Inhale. Opening up through the arm. And exhale to feed it through. Lovely. One more time, moving with breath, reaching up. And this next time, we're going to feed the arm underneath, coming down onto the side of that left shoulder. Right hand by the face, so you can just press into that hand and lean to the left. And then maybe reaching the right arm up to the ceiling once more. Maybe even wrapping it behind your low back. And just see if you can open that top shoulder. Breathing into that stretch this morning. And then we'll bring that right hand down to the floor. Let's take that left arm up to the sky one last time. And then bringing both hands back into that tabletop, taking that inhale. Exhaling bottom to heels, ready for that little floor flow if you wish. Onto all fours, breathing in. And down between your arms. Exhale. Let's come all the way back up through a cobra and back into that child pose. Twice more if that feels good. Again, moving with our breath. So this whole thing becomes that moving meditation. As we move, no time to get wrapped up in our thoughts. Once more like that. Inhale. Exhale as you come down onto your belly. This time we'll push up onto all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward dog. From your downward dog, start to bend one knee and then the other. Maybe even moving your hips gently from side to side. And again, you can stay there in your downward dog, or we'll do some little spinal rolls. So we'll pull the body forwards to plank. And then bending the knees, we'll push the bottom back towards your heels. And then straighten the legs up into that dog. Inhale to roll forwards. And exhale to push all the way up and back. One more. Little roll forwards to plank. And then a roll up and back. We meet in that downward dog. Just letting the heels drop down towards the mat as you push your hips up and back. And then from there, let's start a slow walk forwards. So you're bringing your feet towards your hands at the top of the mat. When you get there, bend your knees, cradle your elbows, and just have a little sway of the body from side to side. Let everything hang down there. And then letting go of those elbows. The arms are going to dangle really heavily in front of you, so you can just roll your way up. Take your time. Head's going to come up last. And when you get there, have a little roll of the shoulders. Let me just adjust the screen a little bit. Roll of the shoulders. That's it. Beautiful. Let's take both arms up to the ceiling, taking that inhale. And as you exhale, I'm going to swim the hands behind you so you can interlace your hands. Palms are nice and open. And just tug the knuckles down towards the floor. So you're feeling that lovely openness through the chest. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, just look over your right shoulder. Inhale through center. And then over the opposite way. And as you Do that one more time each way. We're not moving the hips. We're not twisting through the chest. We're really getting into the neck and shoulders. Lovely. Looking to the left, coming to center. Keep the hands where they are. Now you can stay there or bend your knees and drape the body forwards. And as you drape the body forward so the arms can come up and over. That doesn't work for you. Just let the arms go in a forward fold with the arms hanging. You've got those arms lifted. Really push the knuckles away from you. Lovely. And then let's release the hands onto your back, sweeping those arms forwards and up. Let's take an inhale. And exhaling, hands to hearts. Lovely. Reaching those arms all the way up. Take an inhale. And exhale, coming all the way down into your fold. This time finding your flat back as you breathe in, fingertips, floor, shins or thighs, and exhale to fold. Let's rise on up, sweeping the arms up to the sky. And hands to heart, lovely. Twice more, inhale. And exhale to come down. Inhaling up. And exhaling to fold. Bend those knees as much as you need to. Rising on up. We're going to add on this next time, so making sure you're at the top of your mat. Lovely. Last time, inhale. Exhale as you come all the way down. Let's lift up halfway. And this next time, we're going to slide or step your right leg back. We're going to drop the knee, but keep the toes of that right foot tucked under. Right hand on the mat. We're going to take the left arm up to the sky, opening up through the chest. And push off that right hand. And come back into that little twist. Right arm forwards, left arm reaching back. So you're turning towards that front knee. Lovely. Beautiful, beautiful. This left hand is going to come all the way round to the back of that right thigh as you reach the right arm up. So we're coming into a little twist there. Left hand on the back of your right thigh. Maybe it slides down the leg. Lovely. Let's reach both arms straight up towards the ceiling. Now using your hands on the floor if you need to, and push up into a high lunge. So you're lifting that back knee off the floor. Lovely. Upper arms, hugging those ears as you reach on up. Okay, we're going to slide that back foot in. Reach the arms back alongside you as you lift that back leg, coming into your warrior three, reaching to the back of the mat as you stretch the leg out behind you. Okay, taking a big step back with that right foot. Toes tap down, arms reach all the way up. Let's find that high lunge, taking an inhale. Exhale, right heel in, opening up into your warrior two. Have a little movement of that left foot. Just bring it to the middle of your mat as you bend that front knee. Taking an inhale there. And as you exhale, can you bend that front knee a little bit more? Left palm, let's turn it up. And as you inhale, reaching that left arm all the way up and back as we reverse our warrior. And exhale, coming forwards. Right arm up this time. Lovely. One more time. So inhale, we reach all the way up and back with that left arm. And exhale, coming forwards and down. And maybe that left hand comes down a little lower towards your shin or your ankle. Finding our warrior. Arms out left to right. And then turning all 10 toes forwards. Straightening both legs. Reaching the arms up to the ceiling. Take a big breath in. And as you breathe out, we'll push the hips back and find your forward fold. If you can't quite reach the floor today, just rest the hands on the legs as you start to move the hips gently from side to side. Just getting that little stretch in the inner thigh. Come down as low as feels comfortable for you this morning as you stretch into those inner thighs. Lovely. And then coming to center, weight in the heels, just walk your fingertips forward so you can lift your chest. And as you inhale, arch your back, think about that cow pose. And as you exhale, you're going to fold over the legs. Maybe the hands can come back onto your shoulders. Maybe you can take hold of the outside of your legs. Maybe you can turn the fingertips away from you and walk the hands between the legs, coming in a little deeper to that stretch. You decide what works for you today. Beautiful. And then from there, let's Bring those hands back under the shoulders. Walk them forwards again so you can lift the chest, lift the head. Soften the knees as you sweep the arms all the way back up towards the ceiling. Let's breathe in. As you breathe out, turning that left foot forwards, coming back into your warrior two. Lovely. A little tricky one here. We're going to sweep the arms up to the sky. Have a little hop on that back foot. So you're back in your high lunge. Little tricky move. And then slowly, slowly lower that right knee all the way back down, back to where we started. Taking that inhale. And as you exhale, bring the fingertips down to frame that leg foot. Chest lifts, breathing in. As you breathe out, we're going to move the hips back as you straighten that left leg and maybe pull the toes to your face. Inhale, bend the knee, foot to floor. Exhale, move the hips back. You can always keep a nice deep bend in that front leg. Hamstrings are tight. Let's do that one more time. Hips moving back. This time we'll pause. So remember, you might have that left foot on the floor and the knee really deeply bent this morning. Or you can pull the toes back towards your face. Taking that inhale. And maybe as you exhale, you can sink down a little deeper. Feeling that lovely stretch in the hamstring. Woo! That's a good old stretch, isn't it? Let's all bend the knee. Plant the hands. Now this left leg, you're going to take all the way back behind you, level with the hips, shoot it straight out behind you. Reaching that right arm forwards, turning that right arm away from you, palm away from you. Bend the back knee, reach to the back of your mat. You might even be able to take hold of your foot, push your foot into your hand into your foot. If you can't reach your foot, you're reaching to the back of the mat and sending those toes up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Wherever we are, slowly release. Back onto all fours. Tucking the toes under, let's take that inhale. And as you exhale, finding your downward facing. Option to stay there or roll forwards to plank as you inhale. And exhale, knees lifted or lowered, make your way down into your tummy. Let's find your cobra, breathing in as you lift your chest. And breathing out, rolling back down to the mat. Coming back onto all fours. And this time, tuck the toes, send your bottom to your heels in a half dog. So you're stretching the bottom back to the heels, toes are tucked under. And then from there, walk your hands back towards your knees. You might keep your fingertips on the floor, or you might bring your hands onto your knees. So we're getting a lovely toe stretch. If that doesn't work for you, you can flatten your feet. But if you can keep those toes tucked under, we're going to reach the arms up, interlace the hands, push the palms up towards the ceiling. And as you push the palms up, press down into the balls of the feet. It's not called a screaming toe stretch for nothing, is it, that one? Lovely. Slowly release. Bringing the hands down onto the mat. Walking forwards, back onto all fours. Let's find our way back up into your downward dog. And from your downward dog, take a walk forwards, coming into your forward fold. And when you get there, bend the knees again. Cradle those elbows. And again, allow the body just to sway softly from side to side. Moving from your waist rather than those arms pulling you wildly from side to side. And then releasing the elbows, arms dangle as you roll your way up nice and slowly. Head comes up last. Having that little loop of the shoulders away from the ears. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands behind you. Again, we're going to interlace them. Maybe move the little finger along one this time so it feels you've interlaced in the awkward way. Tuck the knuckles down as you inhale. And as you exhale, let's look over that left shoulder. Inhale to center and over to the right. So you're trying not to drop your chin as we do that one more time. It's like you're just scanning the horizon in front of you. Opening up through the chest. Let's do that one more time. And then coming all the way back through center, take an inhale. Exhale, drop the knees, maybe lift the arms up and over if that feels good, pushing those knuckles away from you. Lovely, releasing those arms. Let's swim the arms forwards and up as you rise. Hands coming back to the heart. Exhale. Lovely. Ready for that other side. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale as you come down over the legs. Lifting up halfway, breathing in. And breathing out, we fold. Maybe the hamstrings feel a little warmer now as you inhale, pushing up to stand, sweeping the arms up. And hands come back down to the heart. Lovely. And again, inhale, reaching up. And exhale to fold. Let's lift up halfway into our flat back. And then fold back in. Reaching those arms up to the sky. Take that inhale. And hands to heart. We're going to add on this next time. So reaching the arms up. We're going to move that left leg. Exhale, we fold. Lifting up halfway. This time we'll slide or step your left leg back, lowering the knee. And we keep the toes tucked under. Left hand on the floor. We're going to reach that right arm up towards the sky. Then pushing off that left hand, we come all the way up into that little twist, left arm in front, right arm behind you. Left arm reaches up, you bring that right hand to the back of the left thigh. Maybe you stay there. You start to slide the hand down towards the back of the knee as you reach the arm up. Lovely. Let's come all the way back through center, reaching those arms up to the ceiling, knowing that you can always use the floor to help you as you push up into that high lunge. Lovely. From that high lunge, you're going to slide the back foot in, reach the arms back behind you as you lift that left leg up into your warrior three. Maybe you just hover the toes off the floor today. And then taking a big step back with that left foot, sweeping the arms up. Let's revisit that high lunge as you inhale. Back heel drops in. We're opening up into our warrior two. So you've got your right knee bent. Arms out left to right. Let's take an inhale. As you exhale, push that knee a little further forwards as you deepen the stretch. Lovely. Right palm turns up. And as you inhale, we reach up and back. And exhale, coming forwards and down. Taking that top arm up or alongside your ear. One more time, we're going to reach up and back. So stay strong in those legs. And this time, maybe that right hand comes down a little lower, if that feels good. Beautiful. Finding your warrior. And turn all 10 toes forwards. Our option as you sweep the arms up is to bring both hands behind you and again, interlace them. If this doesn't work for you, just let the fingertips find the floor. Then draw the knuckles down as you inhale. Exhale to fold. Arms lift up and over. Or just let the arms hang in front of you. And again, we take that little bump of the hips from side to side, bending one knee. And then the other as you push those knuckles away from you. Lovely. Whoa, that's a good old stretch. Come back to center. Let's bring both hands down underneath the shoulders. Just walk them forwards. So you've got a nice long chest, long back, but the weight is in the heels. Right arm, we're going to reach all the way up towards the ceiling, coming into a little twist. Hello. And exhale, come all the way down. Other side, keep the weight forwards, shoulders over your wrists as you open up. And then coming all the way down. Let's do one more each way. Big reach up to the ceiling. And then coming all the way down. Last time with that left arm. Lovely. Finding the floor. You're going to bend the knees. Sweep those arms back up towards the sky. Breathing in. As you breathe out, turning that right foot forwards back into your warrior two. That little tricky maneuver now. We're going to sweep both arms up and take that little hop on the back foot. So you're back into that high lunge. And from there, slowly, slowly, we're going to lower that left knee all the way down to the mat. You can flatten the toes if you wish or keep them tucked. Let's take an inhale. Exhale as you bring the hands down, framing that front foot. Lifting the chest as you inhale. And exhale, let's move the hips back, maybe lifting the toes. Twice more, we roll forwards as you inhale. And pull back as you exhale. Let's do that one more time. And this next time, you're going to keep that front leg nice and straight, pulling the toes towards your face. And maybe again, you bend the front knee and keep the foot on the floor if your hamstring feels really tight today. Otherwise, as you inhale, let's lift the chest. As you exhale, just let the chest melt down over that front leg. Bending that front knee. Hands frame the foot. We're going to shoot that right leg all the way back behind you. Level with the hip. Reaching the left arm forwards, turn the palm away from you. And as you bend that right knee, you're going to sweep the arm to the back of the mat. Maybe stay there, or you might be able to grab your toes, grab your foot. Push your foot into your hand into your foot as you open up through the chest. Or not, as the case may be. Wherever you are, we'll bring ourselves back onto all fours, toes tucked under as you inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, downward facing dog. I've got your Hazel, I can send a recording. Inhale, roll forwards to plank. And exhale to lower down. Flatten your feet as you find your cobra, lifting the chest all the way up. And exhale to roll down. Lovely, coming up onto all fours, toes tuck, bottom to heels. Just find that half dog. And then from there, walking your hands back towards your knees like we did before. Only this time, we're going to sweep the arms up as you lift your hips, coming into that standing kneeling. And from there, hands come behind you, almost like you're putting them in the pockets of your jeans as you find your low back. Keeping your hips on top of your knees. Squeeze the elbows back behind you, lift the chest. Maybe lifting the chin as you find that half camel pose. Lovely. Lower the chin. You're going to flatten the feet this time and sit back on your heels. Now, if you don't like sitting on your heels today, just stretch both legs out in front of you. It's no problem at all. Beautiful. Sweeping the arms up. Let's take an inhale. Hands coming down to hearts. Let's take those arms all the way back up. This time we'll bring the left hand down, right arm over the top. Just if you're with me on your heels, move your bottom slightly over to the right so you can feel that lovely stretch. And then we'll come all the way back up through center, taking that inhale. And exhale, right hand down. Again, move your hips to the left this time as you take that left arm over the top. Coming all the way back. Option to add on if you're sitting on your heels, reaching the arms up. And this time we'll come over to the left, left hand down, right arm over the top as you move the hips. You've got the option to stay there or slide that left hand a little further away. Push the hips forward, straighten that right leg, and get that lovely stretch all the way through the side of the body. And then bending both knees, we'll come all the way back, sitting on the heels. Other side, reaching the arms up. Right hand down, left arm over the top. Option to stay there or slide the hand away. Push the hips forwards and extend that top leg. Nice. Let's come all the way back. Hazel, you're going to take a forward fold. Otherwise, with me in child pose, at the back of the hands on the mat. Slide the hands back behind you. Fingertips reaching back beyond your toes. Letting those shoulders roll forwards as you find that little version of child pose. And just really relax the shoulders, let them roll forwards, not holding any tension around there. Staying in that child pose, just reach both arms out in front of you. So you can pull yourself back up onto all fours and then down onto your tummy, making a little pillow for your forehead by stacking one hand on top of the other. Just reach the legs back behind you. And then with a flexed foot, bring that right heel in towards your bottom. Maybe you just want to stay here, so you want to kick your bottom, strengthening the hamstring. Or you reach around again with that right hand. See if you can find your foot. You might find this a little easier than when we were on all fours. You bring the heel in towards your bottom. So you're stretching your thigh. So either way, we're working the legs. If you're holding your foot, you can press your hips A little further down into the floor to deepen that stretch if that feels good. And then releasing that foot, we'll swap sides. So either just bringing that heel in towards your bottom or pointing the toes, reaching back with your left hand. See if you can find your foot, bringing that heel towards your bottom and pressing the hips down into the floor. Lovely. And then releasing, hands underneath your head. We'll bend both knees and just take a little windscreen wiper of your legs from side to side, a little massage across the front of your hips. Extending the legs, hands under the shoulders. You can push up onto all fours, bring the feet and the knees together, swish your feet round to one side so we can come down to seated and stretch both legs out in front of you. Well done, team. Give those knees a little shake. Bending the knees as much as you need to today. We're going to sweep the arms up. And then coming forward into your forward fold, remembering that that might be your forward fold today with your knees generously bent, holding onto the back of the legs. Just allowing the body to fold forwards now. We start to slow it down, so we start to once more really elongate both the inhale and the exhale. Slowly, slowly, let's roll back up. Bringing that right heel in towards you. Keeping the foot on the inside of the thigh today. We're going to lift up nice and tall. And then use your left hand or the elbow to lock the knee in place. Then take a big circle with the right arm all the way back behind you. And taking that inhale as you lift and lengthen. And exhale, see if you can twist and turn a little more over that back shoulder. Slowly coming back to center. And let that right knee open out to the side. Taking that left leg out on the diagonal. Left hand somewhere on your leg, above or below the knee as you take that right arm up. Just bring the hand behind the head and then slide that left hand down the leg and pull that top elbow back, finding that side bend. Some of you might be able to drop down onto that left elbow, forearm on the inside of the leg. Slowly release. Bring that right hand down behind the hip. Left arm reaches up, and you can stay there or you can push the hips up off the floor and take again that little hip stretch, little back bend as you pull the top arm back. And slowly release. Extend the legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake, and we'll swap sides. So left heel comes in, sitting up nice and tall. Right hand or elbow locks the knee in place as you take a big circle with that left hand now. Bringing the hand behind you, sitting up nice and tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can twist and turn a little further to the left. All the way back through center. Let's let that knee open out to the side. Moving that right leg slightly out the diagonal. Right hand somewhere on the leg. We'll take that left arm up. Support that head in the hand as you slide over that extended leg, putting that top elbow back. And again, some of you might be able to drop down onto that right elbow. All the way back up, left hand behind the hip, right arm up. You can stay there, or you can lift the hips up and reach back behind you. Let's come all the way back down, bending both knees, giving yourself a little well-earned hug there before coming down onto your back and bring both knees with you. Have A little massage of your back against the floor there. Oh, beautiful. Well done, team. And keeping hold of that right knee, just let that left leg slide out in front of you. Pushing the heel away from you as you hug that right knee. And then we'll swap sides. So left knee comes in and right leg extends out on the floor in front of you. And bring both knees in towards the chest. Holding on around the back of both legs. Let's take the legs up towards the ceiling. Flex the feet, and as you flex your feet, press your lower back down into the floor. Nice release for the hamstrings, and then bend the knees. Again, maybe a little circle or a little rock before you find a comfortable position for a few moments of relaxation. Maybe feet on the floor, knees bent, knees resting against each other, or stretching the legs out in front of you. I'm just going to come up to sit so I can talk to you, but you get nice and comfy there. Taking whatever movement you need to allow the body to settle. Again, let's take that nice deep breath in. And breathing out, let the back body relax into the floor underneath you. Closing down the eyes for a moment. And this is the part of the practice where perhaps the mind suddenly jumps into action, pulling you into the rest of your day or dragging you back into the week you've had so far. When you notice that happening, just very kindly, very gently, bring your focus, your awareness back to your breath. Following that path of each inhale and exhale. You might have to do that many, many times. Until perhaps one day those gaps between the mind dragging us backwards or forwards grows a little longer. We can find those pockets of peace. You slowly start to deepen and lengthen your breath now. Just combining that with a little bit of movement into your fingers, your toes. Maybe rolling your head from side to side. And you might want to revisit that full body stretch, reaching the arms back above the head, extending the legs out in front of you, maybe having a little stretch into one side and then the other. Before you bring both knees back up and in towards your chest there. Your time. And then roll or turn to one side. And come up to seated when you're ready. There's no rush. When you get there, let's bring the hands together at the heart, letting your chin drop down. towards your fingertips. And if, like me, you're a self-confessed worry wart, I leave you with this thought. Remember, today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. I like it. Today is the tomorrow you worried about yesterday. Let's take a nice deep breath in, circling the arms out and up. Exhaling, hands to heart. And namaste tea. Thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you, team.